see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
FREE, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Instead of living large and looking fat, now I'm driving off the lot in a subcompact. FREE, that spells free.
Also, it's not free. It's like free speech. That means it's not free.
Freedom's not free, even freedom.
Nothing is free in this world.
Nothing.
You better learn that.
Nothing is free, Kurt. I'm here with Kurt Mexican, America's comedian.
It's cold in my house right now.
Really? It's going to be 83 degrees here in Los Angeles today. I don't want to rub it in.
Well, I hope you guys have something out there.
We got something.
Yeah.
83 degrees today, and I'm going to spend most of it indoors because I was up late last night watching a movie with this brilliantly acted by Sean Penn, a guy I do not like, but he's a brilliant.
What movie?
It was called what is it?
One Thing After Another?
No, it's one battle after another.
Oh, was that movie good with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Leonardo DiCaprio is an amazing. Benicio del Toro, also amazing. And Sean Penn, amazing. I mean, Sean Penn is just amazing. Honest to God.
Yeah.
It's completely believable in his character.
100,000% believable. And
Dude, Michael Rappaport was fantastic on Fallout as the dickhead.
yeah, even Michael Rappaport. He was.
I can't fault his performance.
No. But the movie added up to absolutely nothing. And I was like, I stayed up because it's like a 2.5 hour movie, maybe even longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started watching at 11 o'clock at night. And so I didn't realize it was this long of a movie. And the next thing I know, it's like 1:40. And I'm just like, I got to go to goddamn bed. And the movie didn't add up to anything. It was a fun movie. I mean, I guess it was kind of fun, but it's a little too unbelievable, right?
Well, they took a 60s thing and made it now.
Is that what it is?
Right, so that they made it kind of now. And here's the thing with those 60s revolutionaries and now, but I haven't seen it, but you can't really do that now.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing you can actually do. And if you are doing it, it's directly sponsored by the Sean Penn character.
Right, that's right.
You know,
Yep.
And I don't think in the 60s it was real either, to be honest.
You mean the Weather Underground?
Yeah, they're all part of the same shit.
Well, now the guy that guy that not Saul Alinsky, but there was another guy they would always quote from Chicago, who was a big radical. Who was
the one
that
Obama's William Ayers?
Bill Ayers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's completely embraced by the establishment.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah, it's 100% embraced by the establishment. He's just
Larry
like
Flint.
He's like AOC and Bernie.
Larry Flint did really good journalism in his dirty magazine, especially with JFK. Stuff that is way better than any stupid thing they've released currently. But don't mean he was a good guy. And late in life, he was associated with the Clintons.
Oh.
So that's not good. But his magazine, look, I just want data. I don't have to like you. I could dislike you. I just want to know some good information, you know?
Yeah.
Or bad information, and I'll figure out why you're lying to me. But if you talk, I get data, so I don't care. You know, I just need to cross-check it.
Speaking of bad information, Erica Kirk went on Fox, and she's coming out swinging against Candace Owen without naming her. Here we go. Watch this. Now, remember, Erica Kirk, she's wearing her rapper bling on her finger still. She's got it.
She still got her Knights of Malta cross on because that was a big one. And then there's some kind of Mason ring she wears too.
Oh, really? And
yes.
And I don't know if she's doing the fake dabbing. I never saw anybody cry like she cries with dabbing.
Saddam Hussein, you saw cry like that when he was sending people out and he go, "You too," and he dabbed his eye. Yeah.
So here she is. Let's get ready. Here we go.
Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode, going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do.
She had to say it
We
like
have
that.
a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
Our judicial
So you
system.
want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
Our
I don't care what
judicial
box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time.
Are those threats coming from inside the house?
Yeah.
They bring this back
Did you
up,
keep the
what are we
security
supposed to
team
do?
that
Relive
failed?
that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I.
And then they watched me not fire that security team that didn't decide to look at the roof.
Who, by the way, Zionist security team. It's a Zionist security team.
Yeah.
They watched him die. They're supposed to prevent him dying.
Yeah, they're supposed to prevent him.
You're not supposed to watch it.
All right, I tried not to stop this. Let's keep it going.
Did if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed?
Because they're lying.
hyper-analyzed?
Because they're lying. That's why. And we've caught them in multiple lies. That would be why. So I'm gonna play it again, and I'm gonna stop it this time. So I wanted to play it all the way through. I almost did. So let's watch it. And then
Her righteous anger doesn't seem like anger. Never mind righteousness of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like anger to me. And I've been watching auditions for 3 days.
Isn't it weird, Kurt? Isn't it weird that she's angrier at the people trying to get to the bottom of who killed Charlie than she is at the guy she thinks killed Charlie?
Well, Candace's words have never been this powerful. Why would they be that powerful unless you fucked up in some way?
Isn't it? Yes. Isn't it? It's just amazing that she's not angry at the guy who actually she thinks killed her husband. She already forgave him, but she cannot get over the people who are trying to get to the bottom of it. Isn't that interesting? Let's watch this again and we'll stop and start.
Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want.
I think you do care.
Go down that rabbit hole.
I think you care, A, and B, nobody has been calling you names.
It's not a rabbit hole to call you names, by the way.
Yeah, that's not a rabbit hole. That's not a that's a misuse of the term rabbit hole.
But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars.
You guys sold T-shirts at his funeral. You phony. You sold.
You had fireworks at the event. That was probably hard to get into.
You had fireworks at his memorial.
What do you bring this spectacle back to rock?
You guys made $70 million in a few weeks after his death. You're upset that someone is still doing the same show she's done every day of her life for the last 10 years. You're upset about someone still doing a show that she's always done, getting the same numbers that she's always gotten.
Hey, don't your mom work for a defense contractor, which is automatically not a good point,
right?
That you followed around, and also that Romanian charity is real weird. A lot of stuff's real weird about the whole thing.
And you don't have. She doesn't have any questions. Again, about the actual obvious BS story that's coming from the same people who covered up the Epstein files. The same people who covered up the Epstein files are the same people telling you, and the same people who covered up the Butler assassination are the same people who are telling you that it was a lone nut, Tyler Robinson, and nothing they say makes sense. Nothing. The fact that, here's what let's keep going.
Every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this.
Because they're lying. Why do you never mention that she's caught them in multiple lies? The lie that, hey, they said that Charlie didn't turn against Israel and he was a staunch supporter of them. And then she releases the text messages that shows that everybody was lying about that at TPUSA. Josh Hammer was lying about it. Everybody at TPUSA was lying about it. They're all lying about that. Isn't that interesting to you? Not interesting to Erica.
Tim Pool was angrier than she is.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
You know, I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger.
More righteous anger than you had towards the guy who you think killed your husband. Isn't that weird? Yeah. I'm going to tell you, that's weird.
My TPS USA family, I'm more emotional about that than for my husband.
That's right.
Killed.
You are more defensive over your TPUSA family than you are about your own husband.
Yo, go stroke JD Vance's hair. Maybe you'll feel better.
Yeah. Yes.
Because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus.
So anybody telling you to not ask questions around an obvious cover-up of an assassination that happened in public is in on the cover-up. Anybody telling those are the people who are toxic. That is what's toxic. Trying to stop people from asking obvious, especially reporters. I went through this with Seth Rich, and I asked on a panel at the Young Turks with Cenk Uygur and my good friend Ben Makowitz from Turner Classic Movies, when I was put into an article, a hit piece in the Washington Post, because I was asking logical questions about the Seth Rich murder, a murder they said was a botched robbery, yet they didn't take his watch, didn't take his phone, didn't take his wallet. I was asking logical questions. They immediately ordered Dave Weigel to put me in a hit piece in the Washington Post for asking logical questions, and here we are 10 years later, and we caught the FBI lying at least 3 times about the Seth Rich investigation, and they still won't release his laptop 10 years later. This is the exact same thing they're doing. You're hurting our feelings. You're hurting our feeling. How dare you? We're mourning. Oh, you can't upset the Seth Rich family. F off.
I've never heard anything from them, and I would think they'd want to know who killed him.
You would think they'd want to know. So this is the same thing. She's doing the exact same thing. The person who is toxic here is Erica Kirk and TPUSA. Keep going.
Yes, I believe in our judicial.
How do you spell that? Is it JEWDICIAL?
I've never seen her like this.
Let's hear it.
Judicial system.
We got to put that on the soundboard. Okay, so make a note in the Slack. We got to put this on this.
Judicial system. Judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human.
Maybe they shouldn't be lying.
And so maybe they shouldn't be lying. Maybe the people at TPUSA should stop lying. Maybe your security team should stop lying. How about that?
Also, maybe you should
stop.
Note.
Maybe you should stop shaming people who are asking logical questions. Go ahead.
Dr. Henry Kissinger referred to the victims of MK Ultra as bioprogrammable human robotoids. The word robot means worker. That's all it means. It's from Eastern Europe. You saying we're not robots makes me think you are, because of the robotic way that kid walked away holding his cell phone.
A robot
not covered in blood.
The way
a worker, a drone. That's what they're going to try to make everyone into.
Death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping.
So Candace Owens has already, the FBI has confirmed she was the target of a assassination conspiracy already this year, and now there's another one that is confirmed. They won't even respond to it.
Also, TPUSA wants an in-person meeting for some reason.
Yeah.
You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. Every time they bring this back up.
So just like a classic Zionist, they're the victim.
Yeah.
They're the victim. Not Charlie, not the people trying to get to the bottom of this, not the guy who's an obvious patsy, but they're the victim. The people who Charlie had ordered an investigation into their finances, and then 8 days later he was assassinated. The guy who got rid of the COO and then ordered a Doe-style accounting of investigation of his own organization, then 8 days later he's dead. Okay.
What are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again?
See, that's it. So when you do that, that is exactly what they did around Seth Rich. Exactly. Now, we all watched for 60 years John F. Kennedy get his head blown off, and nobody ever said, how dare you? Why are you making Jackie O and his family relive this? Nobody ever said that, ever. We saw pictures, we saw video of Ronald Reagan getting shot over and over and over. Nobody ever said, why are you making it? So all of a sudden it was Seth Rich, and now it's this. When they don't want you to look into it because the establishment is in on it, they don't want you to look at it. They go, how dare you make us relive it? That is not a thing you say about a murder investigation. That's not what you say about people questioning the establishment's cover-up of a murder investigation. That's something you say if you're in on the cover-up. And she's
9/11, they did it.
9/11, same thing. You couldn't question.
How dare you ask? So I didn't know there was a third tower until 2 years ago.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you question 9/11? They did the same thing, and now we all know Building 7 was imploded. It was a lie.
It was an obvious false flag, much like Vietnam, World War II, World War I.
That's right.
Probably
right.
The Civil War.
Right.
All of them.
Both.
Is it dawning on everyone?
The Iraq War, the Libya. They're all false flags. So here we go.
They watched my husband get murdered.
And that's why they're trying to find out who did it. You phony.
I tried to avoid it. I tried to not watch it, and somehow it got into one of my streams of something I watched. How? Because we all are obligated to watch it because it was on purpose.
That's right.
Because then we're supposed to go, I saw a leftist, and you make it some capital and some lowercase. You're supposed to do that dumb shit. It didn't work, stupid.
No idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day.
What would you probably turn, put your phone to your ear and walk away like a robot under a trance? Would you before his body even hits the floor? Would you do that?
He could tell you it's done.
Is that how you would react? Is that how you would react? Okay.
I mean, he called you right away and lied about it.
Yeah.
Good Lord, that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core.
Yeah.
So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud? Analyzed, hyper-analyzed.
Because they're covering it up and they're lying and they're not asking for answers to the obvious lies by the FBI and the establishment. That's why. That's
your security team especially.
Yeah, she's not angry at his security team that allowed him to be assassinated in broad daylight. She's not angry at the security team who didn't have drone coverage, and that or they did have drone coverage and then they lied about it. She's not angry that they didn't have someone on top of the building to make sure. She's not upset at the security team that didn't even look at the rooftop to see a guy get up there, put a gun together, then take the shot. Oh, here, hang on.
Come after me, call me names.
Okay, so here's what I said about it. It's amazing to me how no one will address any of the actual things Candace Owens has said. The TPUSA people have already been caught lying multiple times. Remember, you only lie if you're trying to cover something up. Those people are crying victim, just like their donors do while committing a genocide. The fact that Erica Kirk, along with everyone at TPUSA, has zero questions about the obvious FBI BS narrative about the assassination is beyond puzzling and beyond belief. I don't believe them. I don't believe you. I don't believe their lies. I've caught them in too many lies. And I don't believe that you're just this incurious about actually what happened. I don't believe you, and I don't believe them. And then I said, tell me again how a 30-06 bullet didn't blow his head off or leave a drive-through window in the back of his neck. Seriously, go ahead. Tell me again.
He had miracle bones, Jimmy.
He had miracle.
Monster. Stop hurting everyone.
Tell me how a shooter was allowed to get on that roof in the first place. Just tell me that.
The door was locked and the police wouldn't let his $1 million security team, who are from Israel, do the security. You know how people that are IDF trained are sloppy with that?
Yeah, you know how sloppy they are. Tell me again how nobody saw a gunman on the roof assemble a gun, set it up, take the shot, then disassemble a gun. People in the crowd saw that guy, but nobody in his $1 million security team saw. And then his security team lied about the drone footage. But Erica and the people at TPUSA have zero questions about any of this.
Really? When you watch Kash Patel lie time after time, insultingly
obvious ways.
So since he's never told the truth since he got in, you as someone whose husband was murdered, you don't have more questions for him?
They have no questions about the obvious BS text messages Tyler Robinson was supposed to have sent to his trans lover. Not one question. Not one question about why they paved over a crime scene 2 days after an assassination. Not one question about all the suspicious Google searches coming from Israel and Washington, D.C. Not one question about why the people at TPUSA lied about taking the SD cards and being directed to do so by the cops when they were not. And then after they were caught lying about that, made up a new lie that they were worried someone would steal the cameras, except they didn't take the cameras. They just took the SD cards. There is an obvious cover-up happening, just like that cover-up of the Epstein files, just like the cover-up of Seth Rich's murder. They're trying to silence anybody asking logical questions that everybody should be asking. And that's the tip-off that this is a coordinated cover-up. This is the Mockingbird Media 2.0, as Candace has already said. That's obviously what's going on.
Obama signed it into, they deployed troops to social media.
That's right.
With fake accounts back in 2014, and they've never stopped.
They've never stopped. So here's what Kelly Renee says. What you're pointing out is a classic psychological pattern. When major inconsistencies exist, but the people closest to the narrative show zero curiosity, it signals narrative protection, not clarity. Silence around key questions is often a strategy. Limit inquiry, reduce cognitive friction, and keep the audience in a controlled frame. When questioning is treated as a threat instead of a responsibility, it's the hallmark of a narrative management, not truth-seeking. In healthy systems, scrutiny is welcomed. In manipulated, controlled systems, it's punished.
Yeah,
and
that's like trying to explain to a chick who dates a guy that sucks, and they tell you all their complaints, and you're like, well, you see how he's lying to you? And they go, no, I think it's going to work out. Or a dude that's going to say same adult alcoholic children.
Yes, these are children of adult alcoholics.
Or abused housewives.
They're not angry at the person lying to them or abusing them. They're angry at the person who points out. That's exactly what's happening right now with Candace Owens and anybody who's questioning the narrative. Here is what Ava Petrucci says. She says, what irks me is the emotional manipulation. If she's a grieving widow to be treated with extra consideration, why is she acting CEO of a political organization? Politics is a tough game. No one is immune from scrutiny. How about Pete Asplund? He says it's obvious that she's afraid for herself and for her kids and is performing to save their lives. I don't blame her. She has no escape from this, but we can discount what she's saying because it's obvious she is lying and knows that her husband was assassinated by people who will do the same to her and her kids if she doesn't play along. So that's what this looks like.
Yeah,
so that's possible. So that is the most generous reading you could give to what Erica Kirk has been doing, and her silence, her lack of inquisitiveness about this, and her lack of questions about any of this. That's the most generous reading you could give. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she grew up in one of them screwed up families, because if you're running a Romanian charity that's also child trafficking, you probably learned early that you're going to have to play ball or face terrible consequences.
Could you imagine Jackie O coming out after JFK? Quit asking questions.
No,
it was Oswald, and that's that. It was a magical miracle bullet, but there was nobody on the grassy knoll. Shut up.
And I also just want to say that I just can't understand, if Candace Owens was such a good friend of my husband's, why I wouldn't be picking up the phone and having a conversation with her directly. Why do I have to be talking about this on Fox?
She probably doesn't want to be killed, because none of her emotion, she was, I've never seen you like this. It looked like bad acting. The whole thing looks like she's wearing her Megyn Kelly red jacket to go with her blonde hair.
I'm getting one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. I'm going to get one. A red jacket.
It's a race.
It's just like they want to imprint that blue and red bullshit in every cow's head so badly. And so like this, it doesn't work anymore. The old like hypnotic bullshit does not work like it used to. And they all are upset about it. But I think she very possibly is afraid for her life. I think that's totally a possibility.
So here, Umbral says, TPUSA was created and funded by Israel. Once Charlie started turning on them, evidenced by his texts, he had to be eliminated. You don't take money from the mafia and then walk away. You definitely don't turn their money and influence back against them. They kill you for that. That's exactly what they do. Texas Free Thinker says, Jimmy, it's just that simple. Just calling them conspiracy theorists is not going to work. This isn't going to make this go away and address each issue. Dodging a question just brings more questions.
You know what it's like when the society or whatever for Italian Americans from that mobster was trying to say it's racist to say there's a mafia back in the 70s?
Yeah.
Columbo, and then he got shot?
That? Yeah.
The government's in that stage. We all know there's a mafia, assholes. Okay? Only as biggest slowpokes don't know, and that's because they haven't felt the pain of what they're doing to all of us yet. But they will.
Brayton Howell says the fact that they're using Charlie's name, likeness, and image to make as much money as TPUSA has, let alone continuing to tweet from his Twitter account, have zero room to ask anyone to stop asking questions. Amen, Jimmy, says Chris Skirp. This is why they're freaking out so bad. They didn't want any of these questions asked. That's exactly right. Hey, she has more anger for Candace than she does for her husband's killer. That's the politics snob. Hey, Private Joker, you're hurting Charlie.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing it by asking now that he's dead and not, you know.
Hey, you remember that video of Charlie Kirk talking about JFK?
Yes.
You know where that is?
That was a short on Candace's show. It was one of the beginning. I think that has to be from the Monday.
It's got to be on Twitter.
Yeah, it has to be from the Monday show.
Can you see if that's on Twitter? So, Candace responds a little. She responds a little.
Now, I wasn't sure about Erica. I was waiting kind of a situation for her to be in, obviously having lost her husband, becoming the CEO and the chairman of a company. It's just a lot of transition, and it's nice to wait for more information before you prejudge or just make an assumption about somebody and it maybe is not based in reality. Well, we are getting a lot more of Erica Kirk this week. I'll tell you that because she has been doing the rounds in the media really over the last couple of weeks, and she just gave an interview live with Harris Faulkner on Fox News where she finally addressed the quote-unquote conspiracy theories. And I have to say this because it's true, but it completely missed the mark. For me, I am sorry, it just has. But the good news is that she is now unmurkying the water in terms of her intentions with this massive political organization. That's good news, truly, because we knew Charlie, and now we are getting an opportunity to know Erica.
Charlie's whole gig was ask me any question you want. That's the whole thing. And now TPS USA and Erica Kirk is, how dare you ask me a question? So turning what Charlie Kirk stood for on its head, completely a 180, a betrayal of Charlie Kirk's modus operandi of his values, completely a betrayal of his motto, which was, go ahead, change my mind, ask me questions.
And I know he was pretty sincere, really, at the end of the day, because they killed him over it.
That's right.
I didn't give him enough credit, but I have to now because they murdered him for it.
Yep. So Project Constitution says Tucker Carlson backed Candace tonight. Patrick Byrne backed Candace last week. 2 ex-CIA sources backed the French hit. The whistleblowers, the flight data, the Neff cousins, the foreign call pings, everything is lining up. Only one side is still pushing the shut up and trust the FBI narrative. You already know which side that is. The mask is off. The line has been drawn. Choose wisely. And let's take a break, and I want to get one more video to add to this segment. Let's take a break.